Good afternoon, everybody. Sorry for the small interruption. I think I'm back on track. I just wanted to give you an insight today. I was just talking a few minutes back about a lot of people today have an invitation and engagement with many webinars and knowledge sessions in this current COVID world. So we want to be a little different, and our context want to be a little what you call unique with respect to the value that we would like to present today. So before I start and set the agenda, I thought I'd take this opportunity to introduce our company. I'm sure most of you know about us. We are celebrating 25 years of our incorporations this year. This is 25th year. I enjoy the same relationship, the number of years of the company relationship that enjoys the same number of years I experienced here in this company. I'm sure most of the people who participated in this session today might have had an opportunity to interact with me because at one point of time I would have touched upon these organizations in terms of my growth role that I enjoyed. As a company, we incorporated in the year 1994 as a PLM solution company, and implementation for PLM and support as one of the primary objectives. This year, we become a platinum partner for Dassault Systems, which is a unique distinction. To achieve this feat, we need to work hard in terms of a lot of metrics and parameters that we need to achieve. Without all your support, it would not have been possible. So thank you all for making us a platinum partner this year too. We also enjoy the unique distinction of being the largest PLM and engineering solution provider, the sheer existence for last 25 years, the kind of customer base that we enjoy in this market, about 1,500 plus. It is not possible to deliver all the 1,500 customers without we spread ourselves in this market. So if you see on the right hand side, we are very close to all the customers by means of our delivery offices and support functions being spread across in 11 locations in this country. We enjoy very strategic alliances with world leaders in terms of technology. One such partner is today that we will be talking today. Technia is one of our leading strategic partner, world partner for us to support their solutions in this market space. We always envisaged that Indian customers should not be deprived of global technology that is made available in the world. So we take this opportunity to bring any leading cutting edge technology that is available to any of the Western world should be available to the Indian market in order for them to ensure that they are able to leverage this benefit. And as an organization, we have divided ourselves into multiple business functions just to segment ourselves in order to be better equipped and better efficient in terms of managing all the relationship that we enjoy with the customers and our suppliers and vendors and the principal organization. We also have a unique distinction of measuring the satisfaction of my customers. So we have a customer audit function, which is very unique because the customer is a king in the entire business model that we enjoy today. We need to ensure that the smile on their face, what you call, decides our fate and the future. So in order to measure that very effectively, we have the satisfaction cell. We also have a robust e-learning platform, which we have been very successful in the last few years. And we would be glad that any of your requirement in terms of the CAD and the CAE on e-learning platform we will be happy to support you in this domain too. We also enjoy, because we enjoy a lot of activity in terms of system integration, we work very closely with the many defense related projects. So that skill of system integrations comes from the naturally from defense and DRDO lab engagement that we service. So this is a short brief about us. I don't want to take too much of time here. I just want to set the agenda. I'm sure you all came in here to this occasion after receiving this invitation from my marketing function. So I just want to say, in business today, we need to have flexibility, scalability, and efficiency. So this is a very important function that we all need to do. If you look at today, the design authority world, that means the design function world, has always been equipped with diverse 3D CAD tools. This is a very common phenomena in many engineering industries in India as well as worldwide, I understand. These tools are normally selected based on certain business conditions and situations. It is not possible that only one CAD application or one PLM application being there in any specific organization. So the complexity that we created in terms of multi-situation, any diversity in CAD and complexity creates the business model that we have the situation. So managing them requires an extra effort for administration, especially from the design perspective. He or she must have access to the correct application and correct version and the correct release. So the complexity is created by nature of the business in any of the design world. It is not mandated, but it has to be done in order to meet their own end customers. So in today's webinar, we are going to talk something about the ease of handling the complex environment. We are also going to talk about how to manage it very effectively, how to improve the efficiency. I am confident that the speakers available today have a rich global experience and exposure to share with you all how they are able to deliver these expectations in a worldwide market. Please engage effectively to leverage your business. That's one of the requests from my side. So the team today available for you, Karthikeyan is me. I am joined by Jan Heger from Germany, Technia product manager for this product, and he is presenting from Germany. Mohit Pawar is a person from Technia India. He is presenting today, joining us from Pune. So I now leave it to Jan Heger to take over this session to make it lively for all of us to learn more about how we can make the business, complex business, simplified. Thank you all for the listening. I am available. We will get back to you in the end of the session to take any questions. Thank you all.
Okay, perfect. Thank you for this introduction. Yeah, first of all, I want to thank our colleagues from EDS for the organization of this webinar, and thanks all of you for joining this webinar today. So yeah, we want to present you yeah, some information and some detailed experiences with our myPLM solution today. Some words about this myPLM solution. It's own developed software by Technia. Yeah, we have this software in our portfolio since 2005. So we have a long tradition, a long history. We have many happy customers who are using the software, yeah, to reduce the complexity of the CAD environment. For my presentation, I have yeah, a small agenda, but yeah, first of all, I want to give you the basics of myPLM. What is the software? Why is it useful to use myPLM? What is the benefit for you as a customer? Especially for customers who are working in the automotive sector, we can help you out with our OEM update subscriptions that are pre-packaged for myPLM. So it's extremely easy, yeah, to work for an automotive OEM, and this in a compliant way. We have also some myPLM add-on functionalities around the basic software, as there is, for example, add-on to realize that the license management, to show the availability of licenses, but I will explain you more details on this in a later slide. Then my colleague Mohit will present you a customer story. The company name is Gestamp. They have started a project with us and realized a myPLM multi-site infrastructure, and there Mohit will give you a detailed insight how this was managed. Then I want to give you some demo videos. I want to show you the software. I don't want to show you only the slides. I want to give you a live insight in myPLM. Therefore, I have prepared some demo videos. And last but not least, yeah, we can move over to some questions and answers. Okay, let's start over. About myPLM, as already mentioned, myPLM is own developed software, and yeah, we have further developments on myPLM. So it's not only developed in the past, and yeah, we are making ongoing developments, yeah, every week, every month, and every year, of course. So why is it useful, or why can myPLM help customers to make their CAD environment easier? So on the left-hand side, on the top corner, you can see that customers are working with many different applications in their engineering process. maybe not only CATIA V5 or not only NX, but also maybe with Creo, with 3DX, with SolidWorks, but also many different CAA applications around the main applications like QChecker or QPLM or Kava or XCompare, tools like this. And of course, the licensing is always a challenge for our customer. They have many different licenses, and of course, you want to make sure that, for example, viewing users are able to work with viewing licenses, that power users have access to the powerful licenses. Yeah, maybe you're working not only with DSLs in CATIA, but also with FlexNet-based licenses, and all these licenses needs to be managed, and all these licenses should be available for the engineers. Then, of course, if you are not working file-based, maybe you use a PLM or PDM system from the green cloud, maybe Smart Team or Teamcenter instance, or 3DX or Enovia, Windchill, SAP, many different players in this sector. And of course, if you're not working alone, and yeah, I guess no company is working alone, then maybe you're working with standards, or if you are a supplier, then you are requested or you are maybe forced to use the standard of an OEM. And yeah, on this slide, we have seen there are many different topics around the engineering, around creating parts, models, drawings, that needs to be considered and managed by the admin, and there we can help you out with our software myPLM. So what we want to do with myPLM, we want to offer a CAD application and license management. That is the philosophy of myPLM. As you can see it here in the first screenshot of myPLM, we have a well-organized user interface. It's easy to understand. We don't need a training for the engineers how to work with myPLM. Yeah, it's structured in a tree view. It's extremely easy and comfortable for the engineer. On the left-hand side, the engineer can find the different applications. In this example, we can find CATIA V5, we can find some Siemens NX installations, and within CATIA V5, you can see that this company is working in the automotive branch. They are working with BMW and with the Volkswagen Group, and so on. On the right-hand side, the engineer can select some applications, additional applications like QChecker or Kava, XCompare, or some extra CATIA settings, as you can see it here on this slide. And on the bottom right corner, we can find the license selection. And in this screenshot, you can see that the license selection is already combined with our license traffic system. Yeah, you can see we have different traffic lights to show the availability of the licenses. In this example, all licenses are available, all traffic lights are on green, and this is comfortable for the engineer to understand this license is free and I can start my session with this license. But I will give you more details on this functionality later. Everything in myPLM is combined with our role-based permission system. This means, for example, that a CATIA user who is only able to work with CATIA, that he will only see CATIA in the myPLM UI, or that an administrator can start CATIA in admin mode, or that a viewing user is only able to use viewing licenses. So everything in myPLM can be combined with this role-based permission system, and this will make life much more easier for administrators to manage all these tools, licenses, and applications. For us and also for you as a customer, myPLM is the all-in-one application when talking about CAD. When talking about engineering, then engineers should start myPLM, and from myPLM, they can start the application in combination with the license they want to use. Let me spend some words about the technical background of myPLM. So myPLM is based on Java, but we don't need a local Java on the client. This is important to mention. Another point that is important to mention is that we don't require an Oracle Java. We can also use other Java editions that are free of charge. So it's not needed to have Oracle licenses for myPLM. This is important to mention. And please keep in mind, we don't need a local Java installation on your CAD workstation. But by using Java, it helps us, or it enables us, that we don't need a myPLM installation on your client. This is really a big benefit also in comparison to other tools like myPLM from our competitors. We don't need an installation for myPLM on the local client. This helps us to realize big multi-site environments by providing myPLM, the integrated Java, all the environments, all your standards, everything else that is needed for the engineering to provide all this stuff on the central server share. So it's just needed to have a mapped file share, and from there you can start myPLM. That's the philosophy, and this helps us to realize big installations. Mohit will give you an insight of a customer story where they are using this benefit. And it's easy and scalable. Yeah, it's easy to add new sites. Yeah, let's say if you want to open a new office in Sweden, for example, then you just need to replicate all the files to their network share, and then engineers are able to start myPLM. So it's extremely easy. It's file-based. We don't need application servers. We don't need database servers. It's only file-based, and this makes it easy to understand for the administrator, and it makes it flexible and scalable. For all the customers who are working for an OEM, then maybe you are requested to use OEM supplier packages to work with the standards coming from the OEM, to work with the tools coming from the OEM, to work with their start parts and models. And there we can help you out with our OEM update subscription concept. What we can do for you is, we are adapting OEM supplier packages directly for myPLM. And you can get them as a subscription service from EDS, that you are able to work in an OEM compliant way. So these packages are created in Germany and in India. It's a collaboration between Germany and India that we are pre-adapting these packages, that we integrate all the stuff that is needed to work for an OEM. And let's say if an OEM is moving to a new release, then we are starting a process. We are creating such a new package. We are testing it, and when we are able to release it, then you as a customer will be notified by mail that an update is required or that an update is available. And then you can download this package, and the integration in your myPLM system, it will take 1 or maximum 2 minutes. So it's extremely easy to update such an OEM package. This gives you the big benefit that if you want to work for a new OEM, if you have a new project, then it's easy to be able to work for this OEM. Just integrate this package, and I have a video where we can see this process, how easy it is to enable your engineers to work for this OEM. Let me spend some words about our myPLM add-ons, additional functionalities around the basic software of myPLM, as there is our license traffic system. As I explained on the first slide, we can show the availability of your licenses directly in the myPLM UI. This is always a live view, so this means the color of the traffic light is changing depending on the license utilization on your license server. And this feature is extremely comfortable for all your engineers because they know directly when starting their application, is the license that I need for my engineering, is it free or is it in use by a colleague? And let's say a license is in use, as you can see it here in the screenshot for the AL2 license. Then it's just a double click to get the information who is using this license at this moment. By a double click, you will open a browser session. It's the screenshot below that gives you a list of all the users who are using this license at this moment. We can show the availability of the licenses not only for starting licenses, but also for shareable licenses. Extremely the step availability is interesting for the engineers, or kinematics or shape design. So this is a big benefit by using myPLM, that engineers can see directly who is using this license, and then normally they can call the colleague and ask him to free up the license because they need it for their process. With this traffic light system, we can also offer centralized license servers. Of course, we have to consider the regulations and the legal aspects from the Dassault contracts, but in this example, the customer has created a DSLS cluster based on countryside. And in this example, all the licenses are in use, only the US licenses are available. And then engineers from US will take the license from this DSLS cluster. We call it license pool 1. But let's say a German user wants to start CATIA, then the license pool 1 is not available because all the 500 licenses for Germany are in use. myPLM will show a red traffic light. But then myPLM will directly switch to the next license server, in this example, license pool 2, because on this license server, there are 50 licenses for the EMEA region, and then the German user will get a license from this EMEA pool. And last but not least, example from India, the Indian engineer, he won't get a license from the first license pool because all licenses are in use. Also, the second license pool has only some licenses for the EMEA region. There he will not get a license. And in the third pool, in the license pool 3, this customer has 10 licenses he can use in a global scale. And then the Indian engineer will get a license from this pool. So we can create a kind of license pool cascade to manage the licenses efficiently. Another add-on we can offer is our offline sync add-on. This helps you to synchronize myPLM and all the environments to your local CAD workstation. So this is interesting for engineers who are working on a notebook when they want to work offline, or if they want to visit customers, or during the Corona crisis. Many of our customers are working now from home office, and there our offline sync add-on is extremely helpful because engineers can work with the same UI, with the same tools, with the same standards on their local disk when working from home office or outside the company network in general. Another functionality, or one of the biggest features of this add-on, is that users will be notified when an update is available or needed. They are forced to make this update. They can postpone it for maximum 3 times, and then they are forced to make this update. This helps the CAD administrator because engineers will update their local installations by themselves, and this is not a job for the admin anymore to make sure that all the local clients are up to date. And last but not least, if it's needed, we can also connect to Active Directory. We can export the Active Directory group membership from a user to myPLM, and changes then are automatically taken from Active Directory. And of course, we can use these authorizations for all applications, environments, licenses, and so on, for nearly everything that is integrated in myPLM. Okay, then let me hand over to my colleague Mohit. He wants to give you an insight about a customer story, how we have realized myPLM for Gestam. Mohit, please.
Thank you, Jan. Thank you for this very big insight from myPLM. So to begin with the customer story, we have
Mohit, I think you have to. I think you have to share your screen.
Okay. Is my screen available?
Yes, we can see it now.
Yeah. The Gestamp is one of our biggest customers. You will see why this is a big customer. We say this is big customer. Like To introduce Gestamp is an engineering branch, automotive branch, where they produce all accessories and all the required materials for a car or for automotive industry. From here you can see they are spread in all across the region, across the globe. They have around 101 plants in, they are spread in 21 countries. Like you can, like he mentioned here, they have presence in North America, South America, Eastern Europe, Western Europe, and in Asia as well. uh, they have presence in almost all continents and all regions of the globe. So the history, how we approach them, and why they have adapted myPLM, why they have choose to go with myPLM. To give you brief history, before myPLM, they worked on CX launcher projects. Here you can see they were working in 100 and different sites. Like Jan mentioned, myPLM can be scaled, can be replicated very easily, very comfortably, without any big hurdles. As of now, as we speak, they have scaled to 120 different sites, from 108 to 120 in just couple of years, in just small time, with no hurdles. And they are located in 21 countries. With the number of sites being increased, number of users have also been increased. CAD users have increased to 1,500 global CAD users. Before myPLM, they were using 12 CAX launcher tools. You can imagine how difficult it would have been for them. They used different CX launcher tools to manage CAD applications, to manage their environments, to handle data models, etc., etc. As you can see here, they used to use tools from different companies like Kion. They have their own startup tool from other companies like T-Systems, but they faced a big challenge of integrating and maintaining a standard across all these 12 launcher tools. They had different tools for different sites. This was another big problem for them to handle. CAD administrator had nightmares. They were in big they were losing a lot of time, man hour and manpower on this. Along with different CADs like CATIA NX, they work on 25 additional applications, 25 applications on top of CATIA's NX, like Q Checker, Validat, Kava, NetLive, etc., etc. They work with a lot of customers. They have around 18 OEM customer environments to work on. So this is quite a huge setup where they function, they work, and they help their own customers. So the main problem, uh, the big issue, the big challenge they faced was there was no proper exchange of data, no proper exchange of models. They few sites were working on different environments, and while few sites were working on not the latest environment. So here, with myPLM, we proposed a solution to have only one starter, one application, one software, instead of so many, instead of 12 applications across all different sites. So here we propose them to have only one software for all different locations, for all different sites across globe, across region, across different time zones as well. So as of now, today they have 120 sites working on a single software, uh, which is installed at a single location at their headquarters. With myPLM, this has been done very successfully. Final solution we provided was to use one myPLM for across all different sites in worldwide. they, with myPLM now they have centralized administration and change management. they have one common UI with all updated OEMs uh, across all different locations. With myPLM, it was very easy and quick for them to update the OEM supply packages, which was something else which required lot of time, maybe few weeks to update a single OEM package at one location, at multiple locations. But with myPLM now, they have updated OEM package in couple of minutes, and that too synchronized across all location sites in couple of minutes. Now they are very much sure that they are working on updated versions of CAD, updated version of OEMs, and there is absolutely no challenge or no confusion in using or exchanging data models or working on same environment releases, etc., etc. With this, they have a very comfortable feature for engineers through license traffic, through offline sync. As Jan has explained about license traffic, they can very well see who is using which license at what time, if that license is available, or is it going to get extinct from the pool of licenses. Offline sync, with the current situation, pandemic situation across the globe, offline sync has been a boon for them, where engineers from all over the world are comfortably working without being connected to the network. As you can see in India, uh, we have a lot of connectivity and network issues since everyone is working from home. Offline sync is just big, useful and a boon for them, where they can work through all the day, and they can just connect to the network, to their home, to their office network, whenever they have the connection, and all data will be synced through offline sync. So one more story I would like to tell, which is very interesting, which proves the importance of myPLM. We had with Gestam. After giving presentations and demos, we were asked to provide POC at their headquarters. So our team, we all went there and gave a POC. They invited all CAD administrator across all the different locations, different countries, to the headquarters to see what myPLM can do for their own environment, for all their different sites and locations. And before myPLM, there were 20 plus CAD administrators working on the CAD launcher tools across across the globe. But after having configured myPLM for all the locations, now there are only 2 to 3 CAD administrators working in the main headquarter on myPLM. That means only 10% of the previous manpower is working and is managing very efficiently all 120 sites and handling 1500 CAD users. Can you imagine this across all globe? But this doesn't mean that all other 17 18 CAD administrator are fired. It doesn't mean that. They have saved lot of time. While saving a time, you always save a lot of revenue, for always save a lot of money for a company. And all those other CAD administrators are working on something else, on some other projects. So this is where myPLM has played a very important role in Gestamp, and they are very happy. As of now, we are still providing them services after all big installation and configuration at their location. Let me spare some time on another story, where our one of our customer Plastrel, he told us that before myPLM, they used to spend 6 months. Their vendor used to spend 6 months on OEM upgradation, OEM environment upgrade on all CAD users on a single server. But with myPLM now, it's hardly a matter of few minutes. This, when we presented them myPLM, they didn't believe that this could happen. But after POC and after installation and everything, now they have believed, and this is something which they never imagined this could have happened. And with another Asian customer, he told us that Volkswagen environment used to take around 1.5 weeks or 2 weeks to configure environments on all CAD users. Now with myPLM, it's within 5 minutes all CAD users are engaged with latest OEM, latest Volkswagen group OEM environment on all CAD users machine simultaneously in matter of a few clicks and in matter of few minutes. So these were success stories, I would say, and this is how all customers benefit from myPLM. Thank you guys, and over to you, Jan.
Yeah, thank you, Mohit, for this insight. Yeah, just something to add. Yeah, of course, the customer situations Mohit has presented are big installations, but let me tell you that most of our customers, yeah, or not most, but all of our customers have a different size. The smallest customer is a freelancer with 1 seat. The biggest one is BMW with more than 10,000 seats. So we have a wide range of different customers who are using myPLM. But yeah, after this information from Mohit, now it's time to show you the software more or less live in demo videos I have recorded for this webinar. Okay, first of all, let me show you some basics regarding myPLM as an introduction. Okay, I try to explain what happens in the video. So for the installation, we provide a myPLM installation routine. It's easy to install. Yeah, just by making a double click, it will start the installation routine. Then, of course, you can choose the destination folder where you want to install myPLM. The required disk space is more or less 368 megabytes, so it's not a big software. You can create your desktop shortcut for the initial installation. Of course, this installation now is done on a local disk, but the philosophy of myPLM would be to move this installation from the local disk to a mapped network server, as I have mentioned in the beginning. So it's only for the initial installation where you can make the configuration on this local disk, and then you can move it to the server. You will get 3 icons. The first one is the normal myPLM starting routine. The second one is for the administrator to have a debug mode with myPLM. And the third one is to make the myPLM configuration. You will also get some start menu entries, but as I said, normally you don't need the local installation because later on you can move it to the server. Yeah, to start myPLM, it's just needed to have these desktop shortcuts, and after starting the software, you will get on the left-hand side the application selection. You will get some customizable menus at the top. You will get a ticker text that is scrolling down to give some CAD-related information. You can have, or the admin can have, some options to start CATIA or NX. You can integrate own tools like TeamViewer or your own software. You can integrate Cadenas, your own SAP login. So whatever you want, everything can be integrated here as a quick launch button or within the tool in the toolbars above. Yeah, this is an example how to start TeamViewer, but yeah, as I said, just an example. The ticker text can be modified and customized. You can add your own information for your engineers. And yeah, after expanding CATIA, you can see that there are different releases available for this engineer. We have some NX releases, and by selecting NX, of course, the license selection will also change. For 3DX, it's more or less the same. There you don't need to select the license. There you just need to select the instance where you want to connect to. Yeah, the window size can be customized, that's clear. Also within myPLM, and then you can also, or the engineer can manage the user settings by themselves by doing a right click. They will get a context menu to back up user settings, to delete them or to restore them. This is extremely helpful for the engineer. They can select different releases. They can select the license they want to start with. And by clicking on Start, the application should be started. Okay, now CATIA is started in a normal way. This is a normal CATIA without any OEM modification. And of course, the same would work for NX. If you are administrator, then you can also start myPLM with a debug mode. There you will get a console window where you can get additional information, more technical information. And after starting an application, you will get a log file and the debug output, what was started in the background by myPLM. Yeah, sometimes helpful, but yeah, only interesting for your administrator if there's an error or an issue. Last but not least, there is our myPLM XML editor. It's needed, or it's available to manage the myPLM configuration. The myPLM configuration is based on XML, and therefore we can use this Xerlin editor. There it's needed to open the myPLM configuration. It's XML based. If you want to make a backup, it's needed just to make a copy of the XML file. Then you can go back in case of an error or something like this. And there you can find different releases. If you want to add a new release, normally it's enough to do this by copy and paste. Yeah, in this example, there will be a new CATIA release 2021. Then, of course, you need to tell myPLM also which release should be used in the background. It's 2021. And after saving this XML file, when engineers will start myPLM again, then they should be able to work with this new release. So it's extremely easy to add a new release. It is only be shown in the UI if the CATIA is installed on the local disk. Maybe you have seen in the XML editor that there are many other CATIAs configured, but myPLM will check if this release is installed on the local disk of the client. Otherwise, it will not be shown in the myPLM UI. So this test parameter is extremely powerful. You can have a big configuration, but the engineer will only see and will be able to start this, what is installed on the local disk. Last but not least, if your configuration is done, you can move it to the server. And from there, all your engineers can start it, or you can uninstall it on the local disk if it's not needed anymore. Then you can do it via the control panel, and you can start the uninstallation routine. But we hope you want to keep myPLM, of course. So, yeah, this was a demo video for the basic functionalities. In the next video, I want to show you how different applications can be managed with myPLM. So in the first example, yeah, we can find some CATIA releases based on R28. So we have some Volkswagen applications. We have CATIA R28 in combination with some CAA applications like XCompare and QChecker. And yeah, in this example, the engineer wants to work or he wants to work in the new release. In this example, R29, when I remember right. Yeah, and again, this can be done easily. Just open the myPLM configuration and yeah, you don't need to recreate this from scratch. It's easy, just copy and paste it, modify it, and then the engineer should be able to start the new CATIA R29. But as I mentioned before, only if the release is installed on his local disk. We can also combine, this is interesting for bigger customers, we can also combine local CATIA installations with network installations. Let me give you an example. If you want to move to a new release, but you don't have time to roll this out to all your clients, then you can combine the network CATIA with the local CATIA. myPLM will do this completely automatically, and yeah, this gives you the big benefit to be able to work with a new release very quickly. And after you have made your deployment, then it will be used by from the local disk. So in this example, now we can find CATIA R29. In this video, the AL2 license is taken, and before starting CATIA, we have opened the list of all users. It's only one license, and now we can see when CATIA fires up that we have one license, no license is available anymore, and we can find the list who is using this license. The username is myPLM, and he's working from the VMware myPLM. If you're wondering that the traffic light is still on green, this is a feature. So it will stay on green when I have still a license. All other colleagues will now get a red traffic light, but I am able to start more CATIA sessions with the same license. That's why it's still on green. We cannot find Siemens NX in the myPLM UI, but it's configured in the myPLM configuration. For Siemens NX, it's needed to be in the key user role. As you can see it here in the editor, you need to be in the role key user. And now in the video, it's shown how to add a user in the key user role. It's just by adding this username, and after restarting myPLM, we should be able to start Siemens NX. Now Siemens NX is available in the UI. Of course, when selecting a Siemens NX release, it will give me a selection for the different licenses. In this example, a Daimler NX is started with a DS5010 license, and as you can see, I'm automatically pointed to a server, to a license server in the myPLM UI. This is detected by myPLM. It will point me directly to the correct license server. So it's not needed to make the license server configuration locally. This can be done directly in myPLM, and it doesn't matter if we are talking about Siemens NX or CATIA. This can be done central in myPLM. Okay, this was an example for Siemens NX, and another example how easy it is to add some tools. Yeah, it's shown in the video how easy it is. It's always the same procedure, just copy and paste it, then you can modify it, and then you should be able to integrate your own applications. In this example, a calculator will be integrated. So yeah, it's only an example how this can be done, but it can be every other application. Yeah, it's enough to have a name, to have the executable file. After restarting myPLM, we should be able to get this calculator in the menu on top. You can also create your own menus, of course, but now we can find the calculator. If you want to have it as a quick launch button, sometimes it's useful to have a quick launch button, then you just need to add an icon for this application. Then it's available as a quick launch button, as you can see it in the myPLM UI for the TeamViewer, for example. And now in this video, icon is assigned to the calculator, and then yeah, we should get it as a quick launch button in the UI. myPLM is restarted now, and then we have a calculator. Yeah, with a quick launch button, also in the tools section. Yeah, but you can modify the tools however you want. Okay, this was an introduction how applications can be managed. Last but not least, as promised before, we want to show you how easy it is to add or to update OEM environments. So this is our last video. In this example, we can only find some normal CATIA installations. And yeah, let's say we have got a project to work as a supplier for BMW. With our OEM update subscription, you will get the links directly via mail, or you can download it from our ShareFile portal. This portal is hosted by Citrix, so we have a high uptime, we have a high performance on these servers. And yeah, in this example, it's shown that you can also download it directly from your email. And yeah, whenever there's a change, we will update the package, and then you will receive a mail. You just need to click on download, and yeah. The package consists of 3 files. The first one is always the environment itself. The second one is the hotfix, and the third file is a README. Okay, then after extracting the package, so the package was downloaded and extracted, we can move it on our myPLM server. In this example, it's a local myPLM instance, but typically you would copy it to your server. Now the BMW environment is on the server. The only thing that is needed to activate it for the engineers is to bring it into your myPLM configuration. But you don't need to do this manually. We have a template prepared for you that this can be done easily. And again, first of all, we need to open the myPLM configuration, the XML file again. And of course, now we cannot find BMW. That's clear. But as mentioned, yeah, we deliver a template to integrate this. This is shown now in the video. There is the little template for BMW, and within this template, yeah, all the CAA applications are already predefined. So you don't need to add, for example, Charisma or BMW for QChecker for BMW. This has already been integrated from our OEM update subscription, and then you just need to bring this into your configuration by drag and drop. In this example, yeah, it's dropped on the top, and the link includes all the additional software like Charisma or QChecker. But that's it. Now you just need in this example, the install path for CATIA can be modified. It depends if you are using the Dassault standard path or if you are using, let's say, the Technia or EDS standard. This depends on your installation. In this example, the Dassault standard is used, and then the folder name for CATIA is B29. And after saving this XML configuration, the engineer is able to start in an OEM compliant way, in this example for BMW. You can see on the right-hand side that the additional applications are there. We can find QChecker, we can find Charisma, we can find all the other applications that are required for BMW, NetV5, Ramen, tubing, and many more. ZFE toolbar, tubing, macros. Yeah, then after selecting the license, it would be possible to start. On the left-hand side, you can find also some additional software from BMW or the documentation, how to work with QChecker. Yeah, everything is already integrated. After clicking on start, yeah, CATIA should fire up in an OEM compliant way on the correct release, with the correct settings, with the correct starting models, material tables, and so on. And yeah, now you can see CATIA. We can find the typical BMW applications, and yeah, we offer these OEM update subscriptions for many OEMs. I don't know the number. Yeah, nearly 20 different OEMs we have in this OEM update concept. But if an OEM is missing for you, please let us know. Then yeah, we can help you out. And yeah. So this was the last video, how to handle these OEM packages. Yeah, last but not least, before we enter our Q&A session, we want to give you an insight who is using myPLM. As I said, we have smaller companies, many of them with less than 5 seats, but we also have many bigger customers like BMW, like Ford, like JLR, like Porsche. Yeah, but also yeah, customers from other branches like Meyer Werft or Stadler, B. Brown. Yeah, many different customers. Smia from India. Yeah, of course, we cannot mention all the clients on this slide, but of course it would be good and yeah, nice to also show your logo here. This was my final slide. I think yeah, we can now start over into a question and answer session. Are there any questions regarding myPLM? Maybe I'm not sure if you are still muted or if it's needed to unmute you.
Jan, I'll read the questions and I'll just help you out with the. Am I audible, Jan?
I can hear you, yes.
Okay. The first question is there is a person called Hi. 1 minute. I'm just zooming in. Okay, some person had a doubt about OEM. It is called the original equipment manufacturer. There's a person from Vinod Kumar. He wanted to understand what is the trigram OEM. It is original equipment manufacturers. The big car manufacturers or the truck manufacturers are called the OEM.
Okay, so the OEMs, especially in the car or the automotive branch, are the original manufacturers, of course, and they yeah, they require that suppliers are working in a compliant way, and then they force or ask the suppliers that they work on their standards. But it's not only the OEM who has defined such a standard within supplier packages. You can also define your own standard and share it with your partners or with your own suppliers. Yeah, you can also be an OEM to yeah, to use myPLM and to share this standard with myPLM yeah, with your suppliers, of course.
Okay, there is another question. Can we manage version updates of the application as well automatically through this tool? This is the question from Sudhanshu Satewal.
So the question is if it goes to the, if I understood the question right, it's regarding the deployment of the CAD software.
Yes.
So what we can do, of course, myPLM is not a software deployment tool. So if customers are still are using, for example, the SCCM software distribution, they can still use it to make the deployment of CATIA, NX, SolidWorks, and so on. But as I mentioned in my presentation, it is also possible to have CATIA or NX on the mapped server share, so only file-based in the myPLM directory structure. When making, let's say, a multi-site synchronization also with these files, then it's not needed to have, let's say, a local CATIA installation on the client's disk. This can be done, or then CATIA can be started directly from the network. But this depends fully on the way or the philosophy customers are working. Most of our customers, they prefer to have a local installation of CATIA or NX. Then you still have to do these installations. Or if you want to think in new ways, then maybe it's an idea to have the network CATIA available.
Okay. Just another question, just an extension to the previous question. Is it helpful for standalone licenses to manage?
Can you repeat the question?
Is this myPLM helpful for standalone license to manage? Standalone means it's available on your individual machine, not on the license server, if I understand correctly.
Okay. It is possible to do it, of course. It's more or less the same when working offline, and when you have a checked out license, then it's more or less the same. But when the question goes in this direction, that you want to use, let's say, node lock licenses that are only available on this local machine, then it's also possible to do it. Then you still can manage your releases, you can integrate OEM environments. It's more or less the same. But of course, if you have only local licenses, then maybe it's not needed to have, for example, the license traffic add-on to show traffic lights for licenses. This doesn't make sense, but it's possible to do it, yeah.
Okay. I think the same person has asked, is it helpful for network or the standalone? You answered that already. The other question is, can it also do a drawing version control? Answer is no. I take the privilege of answering this. This is not the drawing version release control software. This is only for the license management tool. Am I right,
Yeah.
Jan? I take the privilege of answering on behalf of you.
Yes, sure, you are absolutely right. Yeah.
Okay. The other question is, which environment is required for myPLM? I don't know this question. Mr. Karthik has to explain. Does myPLM includes cloud-based something? I don't know. Question mark yes. myPLM includes cloud-based.
The question is regarding, is it cloud-based, right?
Yes, I understood. I understand that the way. Does myPLM includes cloud-based? Yes, is it cloud-based tool? They're asking whether the myPLM is a cloud-based tool.
Okay, so let me explain, or let me spend some words on this. So myPLM is extremely powerful. As I mentioned, all the CAD applications, the philosophy is to start all applications within myPLM. So the basic philosophy of myPLM is that it's not a cloud-based solution, that it's a local solution, because all applications are started from myPLM. And it would be a big challenge, and a threat also. If something is down on the cloud, or if something is not working from the cloud, then engineers are not able to start CATIA, NX, or any other tool that is needed for the engineering. But so the answer is, it's not a cloud-based tool. But what we are planning to do, where we are focusing on, is maybe to offer cloud-based services by updating OEM environments. That this has not to be manually by every customer. That, for example, those packages are coming directly over a cloud service, and that they are available automatically in customer installations.
Okay, that's a good question. The other question, I think, if my PLM has both DSLS as well as LUM. How do we manage? How effective is myPLM if we have the mixed bag of both DSLS license as well as the LUM license?
So yeah, both can be managed with myPLM. I forgot to mention that our traffic light system is also capable to manage LUM licenses. So this is also possible. And we can combine, of course, LUM licenses with DSLS licenses in myPLM. If we are talking, for example, of customers who are working with R18 or older releases, where it's still needed to work with LUM licenses, then we can define in myPLM automatically that these licenses should use LUM and instead of DSLS. So both is possible.
Okay. There's another question from Mr. Jignesh Patel. How do I work offline out of my domain network? How license will get fetched?
It's still needed to check out a license. The first step would be to synchronize myPLM with the offline sync add-on, with the needed environments, with the needed releases, with the needed Q checker and CAA applications. This is always the first step. But this can be done by 1 or 2 clicks, then everything is synced to the machine. But you still need to check out a CATIA license, or the same for an X. You still need to do this because it's not allowed from a legal aspect that we automate this process. So it's still needed to check out a CATIA license, but then you are able to work offline.
Okay, that means if I understand correctly, you can borrow the license from the license server to your machine through the myPLM application, but still you have to invoke the application in CATIA to pick the license to your local machine. Is that right?
Yes, you can. myPLM will automatically detect the local checked out license, but yeah, you still need to check out the license because it's not allowed from Dassault. This is only due to legal aspects.
Okay. So there is another question from same Nikhil. How can we manage CAD application compliance issues? The compliance, which means the violation. If we, I don't know what is the meaning he had asked for the intention. If we borrow the license, which is legally allowed as per your end user agreement, it does not have any issues. There is no over deployment. So you will not be in compliance as far as my knowledge goes.
Yeah, that's true. We can, as I have explained in the presentation, that we can define the license server in the myPLM UI. This means that we can define that Indian users should only use the Indian server, so there we will not get any compliance issue. We can define that German users will only be able to work with the German license server, and the same for the borrowing license. So just to give you, this was only an example, but we can make sure that users are limited to the license server that is defined for them. And without myPLM, it's more or less an issue because engineers can or could change the license server where they want to connect to and get maybe licenses, if not prevented by DSLS, that are not allowed to take. Then you will get compliance issues.
Okay. There is another question by one more person. Will this application integrate a FlexNet application? Can other applications which works for FlexNet, can it be managed by myPLM?
Yes. You can integrate every application that is on the local disk or coming from the network. This can be Autodesk or Inventor, other applications like this. And if they are based on FlexNet, then of course we can also integrate the license availability with our license traffic add-on. The license traffic add-on supports DSLS, FlexNet licenses, LUM, and one more, but I don't know that. I don't remember the name, but the biggest 3 are LUM, DSLS, and FlexNet.
Is myPLM Manager ERP integration or only CAD management? It is not a ERP integration. That's my understanding.
Yeah.
It's not an ERP integration tool. It's a CAD management tool in the hands of the CAD and PLM administration tool.
Correct.
Okay. The other one is, can ANSYS product is compatible? He's asking. One person has asked, ANSYS product, is it compatible with myPLM?
Yeah, I think I answered this more or less before. So yeah, nearly every application can be integrated. Yeah, the license traffic add-on can only be used with FlexNet and DSLS, but when the application is based on this, then it is working. Yeah.
If we have myPLM configured on the Triad server, and can we provide authorizations to users using VPN?
That's really a good question. Yes, yeah, we can do this. For example, this can be done by detecting the IP address range where the user is connecting from. Normally, the VPN users are coming from a separate network address, and of course, we can analyze the subnet where they are connecting from, and then we can change their role, or we can provide other tools or other license servers, or whatever we want.
Okay. I hope that is answer to the person, Karthik has asked. The other person who has asked is, do we have web-based user interface without having to install myPLM application locally?
That we have a web-based
user interface.
No, until now we don't have a web-based user interface, but we are planning to do some things like this.
Okay, it's coming up. It's on the roadmap.
Yeah, it's more or less on the roadmap. Yeah.
Okay. There is another question. Sometimes offline license gets stuck in the client machine, and in DSLS it shows license is offline by the user. Do we have any provision in myPLM to release the license from the client machine back to the license server?
No, it's technically not possible. And we are also not allowed to do it from a legal aspect.
Okay. There's another question. In some cases, we have issue of terminate application in PLM during load data. What about chances in new updates? The question, I don't know the question. In some cases, we face an issue, terminate the application in PLM during load data. What about the chances? I have no idea about the full question. I didn't understand the question in totality. Sorry.
Me too. To be honest, me too. I don't understand this question now.
Okay, let them rewrite. They have the time to rewrite this. The other question is, can we connect Azure AD and myPLM? Is compatible in cloud environment? One more person had asked.
Yes, you can connect these cloud-based servers, of course. But the question, the problem is when we are working, for example, in the automotive branch, then normally these supplier package, they have really big sizes. They have many thousands of small files, and there the performance is not really good, to be honest. Therefore, it's the question if it makes sense, but technically possible it would be to work with Azure.
I think we have almost come to an end of questions. One more question. Any minimum system configuration to run myPLM?
You have to have a Windows-based operating system.
Okay. The basic Windows machine should be good enough to run the myPLM.
Yes, correct. We don't, as I said, we are completely file-based, so therefore we don't need a database server or application servers, license servers. We only need some file space and a Windows-based operating system.
Can we operate it on Linux? Is another question. Linux support?
No.
Linux or the Mac operating system, is it compatible?
No.
No. Okay.
Both are not compatible. Linux and Mac. Until now, but if there is a need to do it, because there it helps that we have a Java-based application. I think if it's needed for some customers, then we can also develop it for Mac or Linux.
Okay. I think, Jan, I think we have come to an end of session. I think we almost reached an hour and a half. I'm sure the audience would have enjoyed the interaction, the kind of engagement that we saw today was overwhelming. And the content that was presented by Jan and Mohit really reaffirmed the fact that the technology that was used globally, and it is really useful to many people in Indian context. So I'm happy that the engagement was very effective. It would help a lot of us, a lot of our people to know from our own perspective how we can simplify our own activity and how we can take the benefit. So the objective of managing complex, the headings that we had, managing a complex environment of CAD OEM, which is not an easy job, but myPLM facilitates this with ease. So I think with these few words, I thank the Jan all the way from Germany. Physically, he's not present, but he has made his impact over a phone as well as on the session. I'm sure Mohit from Pune has also supported us very effectively in terms of showcasing the customer credential. And I also should thank the team behind EDS Technologies, Naresh and Dave, who facilitated this whole program in terms of reaching out to you, and you makes yourself available. So nevertheless, the session has ended, but our interaction will continue. So we can definitely, you can reach out to us at any point of time post this session. We are reachable. You can connect us through our website. We are available. So you can probably maybe able to get the session link, recorded link for your people who have one of your friend or from your department who could not make it today. So this session could be made available for them for their consumption. That's an advantage of virtual meeting. So you can excuse yourself now, but you can still be available to watch this at your own convenience, at your own time. So thank you all, and wish you all a safe evening. And thanks, Jan, and thanks, Mohit. Thanks, Herman, who is present behind the screen. So thank you all to make this very successful.
Thank you everyone.
Thank you too.